Okay, the client had a dream. He would like to have this glass cube where art objects were hanging. And he would like to see it all day, so it should be made of glass. So we were thinking, how can I make it as transparent as possible? And as structural engineer, you would start as making glass portals. That's very, very normal for a structural engineer. And then we thought, how can I make this a fixed connection in those corners? And when we analyzed it, the portals weren't very stiff. And well, then I came with the idea, I went back, well, let's say to childhood, and I came back with this shoebox idea. The walls and facades and the roof is very stiff. So why would I use portals when there's already a box there? So then I, well, rethought my idea. I only have to use portals for hanging the art, but not for stabilizing the whole cube. So that was, well, the dream and the basic concept. When we refrained from making a fixed portal, we could make a very simple hinged beam. And by thinking so, I said, how can we make it more circular? How could we reuse it in time? So that's why I came up with this remountable connection, which I could use again. So looking at it should be hinged, and it should also be, we have some shear from wind, and only looking at those two types of force, how can I make the most simple, well, global idea of making this connection? And that's why I came up with this T shape. In the T, the horizontal part, that's for the vertical forces. So the art is hanging, so all the vertical forces are there. And I have this vertical one, that's for the wind load. It's like a dowel, so the wind force will not push this beam out of my cube. And that was the basic idea behind this connection. And how we tend to say at ABT, simplicity is condensed complexity. Of course, we could apply it to other projects, and that's the main purpose in itself, because when this cube might be demounted, we can still reuse those beams after years. The columns have a height of 3.5 meters, so we could use them in other buildings. It's like a normal story height. So that's why, yes, it can be reused in other projects, maybe in facade projects, but also in new cubes. Yeah, when I came with the idea of making this reversible, remountable connection, I didn't only think in glass, but also in other materials. So, so glass is brittle, but why not an anisotropic material like timber, or maybe a more ductile material like aluminum? So, what should then the shape be? If it is anisotropic, should it maybe have another dimension? And if it's well, more ductile, what could I do? So I really would like to look further in what if I have an aluminum mullion, how would that connect that to the beam? Or if the mullion is made of timber. So yes, I'm really looking forward to bring also other materials and into contact with this detail. And this one is hinged. And we have also another student here at TU Delft who graduated on the Sashimono technique. Sashimono technique is a Japanese technique for timber, and we already tried that one on glass, but and make a fixed connection instead of hinged. And I really were looking forward to make a hinged connection with timber and glass, or glass and aluminum. I think that's the way forward, and I'm looking forward to proceed those research. I think today's topic is really about the 10R strategies, about circularity, refuse, reduce and reuse. But to do so, I would really recommend to use your common sense. I think that's where it starts. Like I told in the beginning, I went back to my childhood, to the shoebox idea again. So, well, do not take the status quo as a starting point, but really discuss it and use your common sense to make things better. I think there are always three important parties. Yes, we have to do research, and we need engineers and designers to think about it, but we also need the industry. And only with those three we can innovate. So I had my contacts over the years within the glass industry. So one of the producers, they have cut at all those nice Sashimono millions. So yes, you have to have a network, and I think that's why this open glass community is now together, because we should help each other to innovate and make the world a better place.